Good afternoon, beautiful people of planet Earth and all other interdimensional entities of benevolence and loving intentions towards humanity and the rest of the sentient beings on planet Earth. You know who you are, babies. It's the 23rd of September 2024 and the time is 12:15 p.m. Just on lunchtime. I've had two of the last remaining slices of pizza, which were delicious, but I'm still hungry. I had a huge feed of KFC last night, which I will be paying for by tomorrow. So I'm not sure what all this engorging of food is about, but anyway, I'm hungry and I'll have to go with that because I go through periods where I'm not all that hungry, which is also weird. So I'm trying to work out what's going on with me. But anyway, it's a beautiful day outside and I've had a lovely chat to my friend Jackie Burns, whom I know from Pal Talk days many years ago. We've been friends for that long. My Pal Talk friends will remember her as Bomber. And yes, we had a lovely long chat and yeah, I'm glad of that. Bit of company for both of us, having someone to chat to. But now the afternoon stretches ahead of me and I have little Charlie here and I thought, let's make a video, my vlog. What are we going to do when we finish with the diaries, Charlie? Well, what shall we do then? We'll have to get a life, won't we? We'll have to go out into the world and make friends with actual other humans who are spiritual and enlightened and sweet like me. What do you think of that, Charlie? Jackie suggested I go to aqua aerobics and take up aqua aerobics because she said it's good exercise and lots of fun and you actually make friends with some nice people that way too. So it's not a silly idea. I'm pondering over that. I don't normally like to belong to like regimented exercise type groups because of my trauma issues and I'm avoidant and I'm kind of a bit weird like that. But it wouldn't hurt to go once and give it a go, am I right? And just give it a try. And the other option is I have discussed with my psychiatrist having access to his gym facilities, which is to use his pool there, but I don't need to go and use his pool. But what I liked about that idea is I'd be there alone and I can just splash about at my own pace. And or the other option is I could go to a public pool near me, which Jackie says most public pools have aqua aerobics, so could do that. But I'm more inclined to do my own thing and just splash about on my own terms, like I do with everything in life, am I right? Splash about, flounder around, doing my own thing, living very quietly and stumbling through life without my ass hanging out too much. Like a baby with a nappy hanging off her ass, because I'm always just slightly out of sync with the rest of humanity, but it is what it is. It's there's a reason for that. It's my trauma issues. And I like to ride my own bus, Gus, and, ride side saddle like Laddie Godiva through life, and but not naked. And just don't get too excited, boys. And I like to ride through storms and, just maintain my own wildness and my own autonomy at all times. So I'm a bit like that. But anyway, it's a nice suggestion on Jackie's part. She says she enjoys aqua aerobics very much herself. So I'll ponder over that a little bit, I think. Weather's starting to heat up already, so swimming. I've promised myself I'm going to swim more this year. It's imperative for my health. And as well as the wild dance on the Friday night and or Saturday night, I'll include swimming And who knows what a healthy Tanya might be capable of. I've never been healthy before, so I don't know what I would be like. Probably be a right royal pain in the ass and demanding and bing bang boom babies, because with health comes attitude and motivation and stimulation and certain degrees of excitement. I might be even more annoying than I ever was before, when I didn't have confidence in myself and thought I was dying. Am I right? But Jesus, that was my modem. Hang on a minute. I hope that's not broken. Please don't break modem. I don't want to have any more Optus wars. That was an unpleasantness that went on for months. Don't want to even think about that. Still traumatised by that. Anyway, right, here we go, babies. Let's just carry on with reading before I fall into dark spaces of thinking about the ugliness of the last few months. It was actually too much for my nervous system. It's been all too much. But yes, maybe if I'm healthier, my nervous system won't get quite so activated, and I'll calm the fuck down a bit more, and life might get a bit more easier. One can only hope. But then you never know. You never know what's ahead of you. So I just ride through life, as I said, stumbling through life, hoping for the best possible outcome at any given time, and taking delight in the sweetnesses that, you know, get set my way, like the sweetnesses of meeting young Kamania and her beau, Andrew, yesterday. That was sweet. And the time I spent, quality time I spent with Belinda and Bill, both at drumming, and with Belinda so generously teaching me how to spin fleece on Friday morning. So that was a sweetness too. Thank you to my darling ones. So anyway, on we go. Let's continue reading. I haven't done a preview of today, so I don't know if it's going to be good, bad or indifferent. But as always, it'll be a mixed bag, which I'll have to sail through regardless. And today's memories are of the 23rd of September 2024. There were no mad writings first thing this morning, although I woke up at 6 o'clock, rather astonishingly. 6:30 it was, correction, 6:30. And but I didn't have any missives from the force, so that's okay. Nobody actually comments on my missives from the force. They must think I've gone quite mad. Freaks them out on some level. I guess truth speaking and truth seeking and truth telling is frightening to people who live in their own denialist existences. Brisbane City Council truck, what's he doing here? They're coming to cut down trees. No? Doing a U-turn, going off somewhere. Or he's got mulch in the back of his truck, so I'm putting mulch down. Anyway, not my monkey, not my circus. But after they tried to slug me for $644 for a taxi zone that didn't used to be a taxi zone, and they'd put new signs up and they screwed me over, I hate them with a passion now. But anyway, there's nothing I could do about it. I got them down because the other fine was completely bogus. So I'm paying off $322 now. That still hurts. It's a lot of money to me as a pensioner. It's very painful. I'm paying it off, but I shouldn't have had to pay it in the first place, in my opinion. They could have just let it go, but they decided to be bastards about it. Anyway, this is a terrible, terrible place. And I kind of want out, but there's nowhere on earth I can go where I'll get treated any better. So I'm just riding out this apocalypse to its natural conclusion too, as I do. When in doubt, ride it out, babies. I want to sing Riders in the Storm. It's a bit like that, actually. What's that other song? The horse with no name in the desert. No one can hear you scream, or no one can hear you something. No one can hear you. No one knows you. No one hears you. That might be actually kind of a certain kind of bliss, actually. I'm trying to be upbeat about my life, people of Earth and all other interdimensional entities, but it's a struggle sometimes to remain upbeat, cooking on all 4 channels and staying alive. You have to laugh. It's a bit incendiary sometimes. Anyway. The title of today's readings is Love is long ellipse pause. Holding on while letting go. Head high. Maintain your integrity. Suicide is painless, but it's permanent. Bloom. Thank you for that advice you gave yourself, Tanya, whenever you wrote that title. Prescient. Ride through all the storms and continuously bloom, and remember that there is a way out, but it's kind of the coward's way out in a way, even though I did attempt it a couple of times. There was a lot going on though that precipitated that, a hell of a lot. Anyway, it's a gorgeous day and I'm happy in my weird, quirky Hayoka style, back-ended, backdraft, half-assed, rejected and neglected and abandoned way. I'm happy. There is a lot of freedom in not having to deal with people who, aren't genuine. And I love it like that. I kind of deliberately sabotaged, I think, to get that freedom back because I was feeling destabilised. And I don't like to be destabilised. I fought too hard to get my life back in order to be destabilised. I was very destabilised actually by that character on Friday night. It was not good for me. If he comes near me again, I'll just say, can you please go away? I find you unhinging. He'll laugh because he thinks it's funny, psychopath. Psychopath alert. I do wish people would stop assuming that I'm a dominatrix and I'm there to fucking entertain them. Because if I were, I'd be wearing $1,000 boots and I wouldn't be taking any shit from any motherfucker, just saying. So I'm just there to dance and have a good time, not buy into your bullshit. End of story. Still going on about it. Still annoyed. But look, honestly, hopefully when he got home his wives gave him a bloody good hiding because he needed that actually. Nothing to do with being a dominatrix. He was just out of line, disrespectful to his wife. If I was married to him. That's why I'm not married though. It's not safe for me. It's not safe for them. I stay on my own and I do my own thing. Right. I put that photo up again. I don't know why, because I look hideous with that fucking mask that I didn't agree with anyway, but got pressured into it by my daughter who was paranoid about the cough. It's just insane, really. She's a compliant little fucking citizen of the state, all swirling with her eyes, all brainwashed. It's all horse shit, Crystal. Then after it was over, she said to me, yeah, mummy, it was actually, a lot of it was draconian horse shit and none of it was necessary, but I did what I had to do to keep my job, mummy. Fair play, keep your job, but I would have told them all to fuck off, quite frankly. Now, why has that got that mistake? I have to fix that later. I did do a little bit of writing this morning. See, I didn't even remember. Dear Goddess. 23rd of September 2024. A gorgeous morning. I woke up at 6:30 a.m. I had a bit of a rough night with my bladder. It's probably why I'm all over the place today, because I'm sleep deprived and I'm not all that well, to be honest. But I'm kicking shit uphill as I do every day, babies, because I've been doing that since infancy, and nothing's probably ever going to really change. But keep doing. You keep doing what you keep doing to survive, with harm to none and competition from none. So it is done. I think I'm getting better quality sleep though with the CPAP, because my mind seems to be synapsing on all 6 cylinders now, almost turbocharged. Could just about put petrol up my ass and set me on fire and blow me out like a rocket into the cosmos. But it is what it is. Oh, anyway, you have to laugh. Anyway, it eventually settled down around 2 a.m, so I'm a bit astonished to be so alert this early. I had a lovely time at West End drumming yesterday afternoon. At first it was just Belinda, Bill and I, but then a young couple came along and joined in with us. I was very impressed by their sweetness. They were a lovely young couple. I kind of fell in love with them. They were so sweet. It turns out it was their first date. How cute. They chose to spend time with us older folks, playing drums and percussion instruments and chatting with us. Delightful. I followed Kamania on Instagram as I thought she was so lovely. I really did. Then I came home and worked on my spinning wheel. I'm getting better at spinning, but the treadle won't work, so I need to figure out what has gone wrong. I put some more 3-in-1 oil on it, but it still wouldn't work properly. Oh well, baby steps. With Belinda's advice, I fixed the problem with the brake, so the spun wool threads on the bobbin automatically again. That was great, because I had a problem for the first couple of days that it had fallen off, and I still had it on, but it wasn't tight enough, so I was having to manually wind it on, and that ground my gears, and now the treadle won't treadle, so I've got to fix that problem, and then we'll be cooking on gas again, babies, like a rocket ship, spinning wool like grandmother spider, spinning my own fate. Oh, you can tell I had a classical Greek background and studied classical studies in school. But I do like the Greek mythology and the idea of the muses and the fates, and sort of bleeds over a little bit into Viking or Norse mythology too, the same idea with the Norns and the Aesir and all the gods. I love that. That's why I'm a bit weird, people. But it also kept me alive, you know. When shit got real, I just sort of thought, what would the gods do now? What would they ask of me now? Ride through the storm, babies. Head down, ass up, keep busy, avoid other humans if at all possible. I might have to revert to that a bit. It's getting weird. It's getting weirder on my Friday nights out. It's getting weirder and weirder and weirder. I mean, I still manage to have a good time because I go there with the attitude that it's for me. My dancing is for my own purposes, but sometimes it's hard to cope with various characters. But anyway, I've met that Lachlan and his African wife before. I think it was almost like a case of deja vu too, spinning me out a little bit. But anyway, look, no harm, no foul. They were told at the end of the night, I'm not interested in your husband, and I'm the queen of the unrequited, and the queen of the unavailable, and the queen of the damned. And I'll be damned if I'm going to be lured into other people's weird psychosexual fetish perversions and weirdness, and I'll just keep dancing my dance. Bing, bang, boom, baby. That's how it's going to be. 23rd of September 2023. Isn't that interesting given what I just said? 1:11 a.m. Make a wish. I am living my best life, no matter what. You can't kill a dancing queen. That just came on. Lol. I was writing that while I was still at the club. Dancing Queen came on and I was very amused by that. My friend Janet Attridge wrote, "Keep on dancing, my queen." Oh, isn't she sweet, my darling? Love you, Jan. Kiss. I just got home, makeup off, threw myself into bed, 3 to 11 a.m., which is 8 hours sleep, which obviously really needed. Still living my vida loca. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Yes, here I am 1 year later, still living my vida loca, because I'm a stubborn wench and I love to dance. I love the music. I love the wildness as long as they're not impacting too much on me and being too weird around me or creepy or inappropriate. Here's my Viking earrings. My mother actually gave me those Viking ship earrings many, many years ago, and we were still on reasonably friendly terms. There were periods when we were on reasonably friendly terms, and then there were periods where we were estranged. Seems to be a family pattern there, just saying. But anyway, last night one of my Viking ship earrings broke. I had to dance without my earrings, smiley face, which I feel naked when I don't have earrings on. I've always had them since I was 4 years old. So today I made new posts for them and new shepherd's hooks. A Viking woman must have her ships for her journey to the underworld and back. The sea, always the sea, roars in my blood. I wouldn't mind taking up, it probably costs a lot of money, which I don't have, so I haven't done it. But I wouldn't mind taking up joining a yacht club and learning how to sail yachts. That'd be fun. It'd be a fun thing to do. It'd be expensive. And I have learning disabilities now with age and cumulative trauma, so it would involve letting a man boss me around and teach me how to tack and how to manoeuvre sails and how to do things. And if I didn't like him or I felt he was threatening, I'd arc up. So there is that. So no, maybe I won't learn how to sail. But it's a nice fantasy in my mind, I could be out there in a yacht on Moreton Bay, sailing a lovely boat and having fun with it. I asked Jared if he was interested in learning. He went, no, but he's not interested in doing anything with me anymore. Hasn't for many, many years. Oh well. We've all become old and fuddy-duddy and staid and fucking boring, quite frankly. Mama needs to get out and build a life for herself that's, exciting and stimulating, but not harmful. Nothing weird, people. But yeah, it wouldn't hurt. Wouldn't hurt to get a boat license and learn how to sail yachts and do my own thing. Oh well. If the gods decree, I'll get money for it somehow and I'll do it. But, oh well, it's just an idea. I have these ideas, I'm very creative. They float through my mind and usually they get shelved and put away in the library of misbegotten ideas that can never be manifested due to my poverty. Or sometimes they get pulled out like a catalogue and they riffle through. What shall I learn today? That's interesting. That's why through COVID I decided to learn all these new skills that are very homesteady and hippie and earthy and bringing us back to our core nature as humans, like learning how to spin wool and learning how to card wool, which I had to learn first. Next we'll be learning how to dye all the wool, and then learning how to, I know how to knit. I don't know how to crochet though, but I do know how to knit. But yeah, learning how to turn it into beautiful, usable objects, wearable objects, and Yeah, I like that. It's been very groundy, bringing me back to. It's taught me the value of things too. When you have to make things by your own hands from scratch, instead of just going out to Kmart and buying some thing that's made on a machine by slave labour too. It's still awful, but you know, having something that you have made from your own blood, sweat, and tears and misbegotten treadles. You value your workmanship more. Pity that other people don't usually value it, but having that sense of value in things is priceless. Can't buy that. That sense of accomplishment and pride in your own creativity. So there is that. I swapped over from the original garnet beads to blue sapphire beads. They represent the blue of the sea and the sky. Lovely. I don't think I took my vitamins this morning. We're gonna go. We're gonna take them. I've got this weird thing. My skin cancers are all like acting out and breaking out, and I've got to see that skin doctor. But it's just something doesn't feel right with my skin at the moment. I'm not happy about it. Not happy at all. But anyway, just gotta carry on, being awesome, dancing our dance, living our best life. Am I right? It's since I started this Ginkgo biloba that I think it's driving things out through my skin. It's meant to be for, what is it meant to be for? Lynn gave it to me. Supports cognitive function, supports mental clarity. Well, that must be working because I've been very mentally clear lately. Helps to maintain peripheral blood circulation in the areas of the body such as the hands and feet. Notice I'm getting a lot more veins, big veins sticking out my hands, which is weird. But anyway, it hasn't worked for that, but it's helping my mental clarity. So, but then I wonder if it's got side effects, that it's upsetting other things with my skin erupting all the time. Weird. It's weird shit. Anyway, or maybe it was having the B12 upset my skin. I'm wondering because that happened kind of after that too. But I'm due for another shot. I think I had it on the 2nd. This says the 30th of August. I think I had it on the 2nd of September, so I'm due for another shot soon, which I might actually, partake of. I just worry about upsetting other things in my body, But I just need the energy kick. But it took about a week for it to actually work, which is weird because it's supposed to work immediately. So I don't know. But my body's weird. I'm not like other humans. I had too many near deaths as a child and my brain's rewired in all sorts of strange ways. So I don't react to medications like other humans. Oh, look at this little bugger. Look, turn my back for 5 seconds. Charlie, that's intense. Intense, Charlie. All right, let's carry on, babies. People of Earth. No, you can't go flying. Mummy has to clip your wing. You're starting to fly rather well now. It's a worry. Too much flying is not good for you, Charlie. Why are you shivering and shaking? What's going on with you? Calm your farm. There's nothing to be afraid of here. It's only your mad mother and the computer and our YouTube subscribers and audience watching us with our shenanigans each day. Yes, Bobo's in heaven. Thanks for reminding me. I love you. She's very sweet, actually. Can you see the birdie? Look, there's a birdie there. Who's that? Look over here. Who's that birdie? Who's that lady over there in that little screen? She was freaking out this morning because I was sitting outside with her in the sunshine. And I was reviewing my video from yesterday because I review them. You know, just to see what level of crazy is coming out of my mouth, because it's a bit astonishing even for me some days. And I leave it as it is, because, you know, it's out there. Why run and hide and deny? Stand by your truth, am I right? So, but anyway, I was like, for fuck's sake, Tanya. But anyway, the funny thing was she was watching me talking on the video, and I'm sitting next to it, and she's looking at me and looking at the video on my iPhone and looking at me, and got really confused how it was possible that I could be in two places at once. And I wasn't speaking, but the video was obviously speaking, and she's looking at me, and the look on her face was like, am I in some kind of hell loop? She probably is, actually. It's nothing worse than having Mama T and stereophonic, double stereo, yeah, multiplied like gremlins after midnight, Charlie. Anyway, you have to laugh. Don't worry, Charlie, there's only really one of me. The rest is just video recordings of your mother being awesome at times. Here's a photo of me wearing my newly revamped Viking earrings that I was very happy about, because when I made the new posts, I improved on the design a bit by melting a little knob at the end so that they can spin around on the little knob. So I improved on it. It was a stroke of genius on my part, and I like it when I have creative strokes of genius. I was like, why didn't you do that the first time round, Tanya Aarons? Well, it didn't occur to me the first time round. But yes, I have little mind bursts sometimes, and I reinvent things or remake things for myself, and I'm always very excited when I do that. It's how I realise that I've still got it all going on in the brain. I'm just slowing down a bit with age, but I'm still very creative. And I posted a link to a YouTube video, but I don't know what it was, so it's probably one of my own. And then we continue reading. 23rd of September 2022. I'm seriously loving Bad Sisters on Apple TV. Dark and quirky, really good show, highly recommend it. I had to pay for the subscription though, which was annoying, but it was well worth it. I enjoyed that show very much. 23rd of September 2021. No, Charlie, don't bite that. Crystal suggested I make another snake, but as a bangle or armband this time. I've started cutting out his face shape. Stop splashing the water everywhere, Charlie. So yes, this was that bracelet I showed you yesterday. I started on that. And I can't remember what happened with it in the end. Oh, yes, I melted it down. It ended up looking like the creature, the dragon in Never Ending Story. And I don't know why, but I ended up melting it completely down. It was I needed the silver for a project, and I wish I hadn't done that now. Oh, she's splashing water everywhere. Stop it. You varmint. It's not the time to have a bird bath. I've got all these electrical things here. It's not bird bath time for Charlie. Bird baths have to happen outside, Charlie. Yes. She's done another poo. My goodness. My goodness. When does it end? Do you want to go out in the garden? You're driving me a bit bonkers, Charlie. It's like multitasking for the Queen of the Damned, the Queen of the Rainbow Lorikeets. No, Mama just said no. Cheeky bird. I might need to thin down his face like I did with my other one. Oh yeah, so here you can see. Actually, I might make another one. Why not? If I can afford to buy the serving spoons. But I don't need another bracelet and my stuff doesn't sell, so remind me that that's a silly idea. I was kind of obsessed through 2021 of making snakes. So it's kind of interesting that I had that gigantic carpet python appear in my bathroom in May this year. Because it's like, well, I put the energy out. Snake, 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 snake. Kundalini energy, am I right? Also sexual energy. It's probably what I was really trying to manifest unconsciously. But I'm still not going there, guy friends and girlfriends. Waiting for the one who loves me. Not going to settle for anything less or anyone less. Some earrings I made today. Someone just yelled out then it might never happen. No, so be it. What do I care? It's like, pfft, not wasting my beautiful energies on horrible people that don't have my back and don't love me. Had a lifetime of that. So, just makes my blood boil when I think about it actually. The energy I wasted on false people makes me sick to my core. Here's some of the earrings I made. I don't know if you can pick them up with the flashing blue light. That's what it is. Oh, again, Charlie. Man, does that ass of yours ever stop? I had to ream the freshwater pearls again to fit the 1mm sterling wire hooks. I'm yet to decide if I will pierce, saw, enamel or engrave the pussycats. I'm thinking what I'm going to do when I get my small settlement. It's only $4,000. So I'll probably spend 2,000 of it. I'll go home for 4 days to see my friend Lynn Robertson in New Zealand. And then the other 2,000 I think I'll buy gravers for my silversmithing and a little smith torch and just a few other bits and equipment, and then I'll be broke again. Sad, isn't it? That little bit of money will actually go hardly anywhere, but I think I will invest that into more tools that I need because I enjoy doing the silversmithing and it doesn't matter if nothing sells. For me, it's a hobby for me. It gives me joy, sparks joy. So that's all that matters. I'm shedding all my money into it and can't seem to generate an income from it, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. Nothing matters anymore. I've died too many times to give a fuck about generating incomes and having true loves and all these other fantasies I've had that I haven't been able to manifest. And just carry on living my best life, creating and being joyful, and everything can fall into place around that. What is meant to be yours will always come to you eventually. So in my case, it's a bit too little too late, but you know, it's okay. Let's just plug this in. I had to plug in my iPhone, plug in my laptop. Let's just get us all juiced up with energy so we can keep talking to you and whining about my ridiculous, absurdist life, which is pretty bloody awesome, quite frankly. Pretty bloody awesome at the moment. Let's face it. I'm healing. I'm alive against the odds. I get to talk to you every day, and you get to watch and listen to me, and some of you glean things from it. Some of you, whatever, I don't know why you even listen to me, but I get to fill my days up and not feel completely hopeless and helpless and hapless. And, you know, time passes and everything happens in its own perfect timing, and I'm contented with that too. Not going to fight for things that are just untenable anymore. It just grinds my gears and makes me go a bit crazy and start acting out, and we can't be having that. I've worked too long and hard to have my life this awesome. So I will be maintaining my wild and maintaining my awesomeness. And one day there'll be a man that will come into my life that will want to be awesome and happy and wild with me and enjoy my company, and that'll be the one, I guess. The one. Right, just done another poo. I can't keep up with you, Charlie. You'll have to go out in the garden. Maybe she's got an upset tummy because she ate some of my peanut butter this morning on my toast. It's possible. Here I write, the spoon ones are quite heavy to wear but look pretty awesome. Meaning the earrings I made from spoons. The ones I made of socks and Sophie. They are heavy to wear. They kind of drag on my ears a bit, but oh well. That was a design flaw I didn't take into account when I made them, but I still wear them. I still enjoy them. Oops. I also made these out of the other spoons. They were my mother's Power Shell vintage bracelet that I ripped apart. Oops. And they're also heavy to wear because they're the same spoons but not flattened. And hang on, I've got a situation here. People of Earth. By the God, I've got a situation here. It's all twisted, out of control. I've got a really long cord that I bought new because the other one wasn't working right, so. But anyway, we're back in the room. 23rd of September 2020. Right. 4:23 a.m. No sleep tonight. Oh, bejesus, that's bad when that happens. Oh well, I've been thinking about the encounter I had yesterday at Bunnings. Yes, Charlie. I drove straight to the Acacia Ridge Bunnings after the dentist. It was a hot day yesterday. I was feeling zoned out from the heat and the stress of 2 fillings. I actually still had a fair bit of swelling and blood in my mouth. But Jesus, I should have gone straight home to bed. But what do? Go to Bunnings after. But I'm an intrepid bitch. I'm an intrepid Viking warrior goddess berserker bitch. Sometimes I astonish myself. I went straight to the section that displays all the varnishes. I had anticipated buying a marine one as I thought it would last longer. I had the other brand of varnish in one hand, the one I had been using on the dining table, and a Feast & Watson marine brand in my other hand. I was reading all the information on both tins, agonising on which to buy, which I really needed most, which would do the right job. I was there at least 15 minutes, at one point completely zoned out in disassociation. as I could not decide how to proceed, so my brain literally spun on a dime. Finally, after what seemed eons, I sensed someone watching me. They must have thought I was crazy or planning on stealing or something. They just stood and quietly watched me, and I was still trying to work it out. I really had disassociated, to be honest. I often do that, even in supermarkets. It's hard for me to even buy food sometimes. I mean, I really could do with a loving partner that supported me, couldn't I? But I don't want to be a victim to any man or be dependent, so I just fight my way through every day, doing my own thing, even though I struggle. I looked back and there was a young Maori woman employee. She sort of stared at me for a few moments longer, almost surprised that I had seen her. I must have looked either like a potential shoplifter or a crazy person. She asked me if she could help me. I was actually relieved. I explained that I was trying to decide which varnish to buy for my camphor laurel slab, as I had had to strip it back as the varnish had gone tacky after 17 years, and it was a bloody big job. Yes, it was. This desk I'm sitting on is my camphor laurel slab. She told me 17 years was a long time for varnish to last, that marine varnish was not good to use on interior wood as it is oil-based and would sink into the timber. She recommended I stick with the water-based gloss one I was already intending to buy and use that on both tables. It was more environmentally friendly too. She was a lovely woman. I really liked her. So I did that, then asked where the sandpaper aisle was. So then I sauntered over to that section and got lost in confusion again. I eventually bought some small sheets for my hand sander. By this stage, not even sure I needed them. Then I got lost trying to decide what glue to buy to affix my crystals back on my staff. At some point I told myself off, mentally, that I should not go shopping after the dentist, as my mind was just leaking like a colander and I was starting to feel faint. It was a very strange sensation, neither here nor there, but I pushed through it. I found the nice young Maori woman again and we stopped to chat. Her colleagues in the paint mixing section were openly glaring at us after our chat about her coming from Tauranga and newly migrated here with a 6-month-old baby and just starting back at work. It's a lot for a young mother. I really felt for her. I came here when Jasmine was only 14 months too, but I didn't get forced back straight into the workforce, fortunately. Would not have coped anyway. But anyway, I mentioned I had been to Tauranga in 1987 when Jasmine was 3 months old. It's a pretty town, Tauranga, and I really liked the neighbouring town, Mount Maunganui. Really beautiful spot. I wouldn't mind living there actually. Very pretty spot. But anyway, I think only the wealthy can afford to live there now. She was a truly lovely, kind, gentle young woman, and without knowing it, really anchored me in that store with my struggles to choose the right varnish and my brain vanishing all over the place. But I worried I might get her into trouble with her co-workers, so I left to go to the self-service checkout. A young black African woman was in attendance there. She too was very kind to me, as I accidentally put the varnish through twice, so she had to void it. I complimented her on her lovely earrings, then got in my car and drove home with bouts of road rage as there was some idiot on the return trip who squeezed me out of a merging lane. But the staff had been very kind to me, so that was pleasant. Also, the admin lady at the QE2 hospital dentist is super friendly, which is a welcome change from the awful, miserable, condescending staff they used to have there. By the gods, they were terrible. They were so hostile. You'd go there, you'd be treated like either some kind of leper or a criminal or some kind of, monster. And you'd be standing there going, I'm here to go to the dentist. I'm already in pain. And why are you being so rude to me? It was appalling. So yes, I make particular note that they were actually nice that day. Got to be fair. Got to say when things are good too, babies. I still hate that hospital though. I hate it with a passion. Anyway, I came home, unpacked my few groceries I had bought at Aldi prior to going to the dentist, changed the filter in my fish pond, then spent the next few hours lying on the ground, pulling out the mother of millions succulent weeds that has taken over large areas of my front garden. This is a woman who's come from the dentist, gone to Bunnings, not well mentally, disassociating, and then comes home and lies down on the ground doing the weeding as well. I mean, for the love of all the gods. It's a bit much, isn't it? This is how I noticed the builder lad eyeing me off. Jesus. Yeah, the builders across the road when they were building their house. God, I'm lying on the grass pulling up weeds and some builder's like perving on me. Well, there's nothing to see here. Just a short, fat, old, crazy hobbit woman crawling around on the ground pulling up these little tiny, they're like a tiny cactus type succulent that take over huge swathes of land. So you've got to be very particular about putting them in a plastic bag so the seeds don't spread everywhere. And it probably needs doing again. I can't face it at the moment. It's all too much. I haven't been doing much gardening. Just can't face it. But yeah, it'll grow back because it always grows back, babies. And I won't put poisons down on my land. It's been enough toxins. I had enough animal pet deformities and stillbirths and pets dying over the years. So I refuse to add any more toxins to this already toxic landscape here at Sacred Space. Anyway, the day was very strange. I had a lovely chat in the evening with Nigel, then cooked dinner, then spent the rest of the night and early hours of this morning watching TV shows. So basically I worked like a dog all day and then stayed up all night watching TV, like some kind of weird innovation I was on. Full on probably trauma activation from the dentist, but never mind, it is what it is. Then I attempted sleep. No dice. That's exactly what was going on, babies. Outside my window, now 4:49 a.m, I hear the morning chorus of birds waking up for their day. I even heard Possum returning across my roof, no doubt to her possum box. Sweet girl. This sweet lunatic, who is obsessing over past trivialities with schlocky men and with the current kindnesses of strangers, because my streetcar of desire has in true Desiree fashion fucking derailed herself with major trauma activation, may never sleep again. Hyperbole, as I'm sure to pass out sometime today. My body will just shut me off like in the good old days when it made me sleep 20 hours a day. Indeed. By the way, as an aside, an asinine, perspicacious, confoundingly, but confusing aside, the Tanya is happy. You can translate into psychobabble, psychiatric jargon is hypomanic. But it's better to be hypomanic than fucking so depressed you can't get out of bed for days on end. So I just sail intrepidly like a berserker Viking woman on a ship in turgid waters. Keep sailing forwards, babies. 23rd of September 2019, 1:06 p.m. Funny sort of day. Yesterday I was a bit incongruent. Today I have showered, shaved my legs, washed my hair. Did that today too. Looks lovely when my hair's nice and clean, my legs are shaved and I feel all, gorgeous and ready for the world. I even bathed the dog. He was not really thrilled about that, so I achieved some basic hygiene, then got triggered by Nazi shit again. I'm going to miss Jared's Monday visits as he has work now. It was a nice way to come back to reality after some of my wild and uncanny weekends. But plus ça change, plus c'est la même chose. The more things change, the more they stay the same. I will adapt. I do miss him coming regularly to visit me though. And I haven't seen much of Lynn anymore either in recent weeks because she's busy, and I get it, people have to live their own lives and I'm not holding on tight to anyone. I promise you I'm not. You're all free, be joyous, be happy. Do your own thing. I'm not holding anyone prisoners of my love, but I do miss that. That was a lovely time period after that surgery where Jared would visit me every Monday. Well, he wasn't working, so it was a bit of an outing for him too, quite frankly. And, it was good to have company when I was still recovering from that god-awful surgery and that near-death experience, and sort of recalibrating and getting back into my own body, mind and spirit, which did take some time. It took months. It actually took a full 2 years to recover, but it took months initially to get over the initial kind of shock of it all. We are still going to Byron Bay on Monday next week in honour of his birthday, which is on the 28th of September. Crystal had organised a huge surprise for him, and I will spend time on the beach with my beau. Hopefully it's not blue bottle season yet. Also, I hope I feel well enough on the day. I'm looking forward to cleansing my energy meridians in the ocean there. It has been many months since I last swam in the ocean. No wonder I am quietly going mad. I do need the sea. Actually, I need it at the moment. Might take a drive in the next couple of days and just sit by the sea for an afternoon. It will do me the power of good. Might even get brave and have a swim if it's a really hot day. Watching Ancient Aliens, amazing. 23rd of September 2018. So, by the gods, it's Jared's birthday in 5 days' time. Trigger warning, harassment, stalking. 5 hours sleep, it's a glorious day. I'm lying in my hammock thinking about the video I posted about humility, about my last friend who insisted my destiny on earth was modesty. The cheek of it. She who wore very short skirts and competed with me for the attentions of potential lovers when she had a man to go home to. Modesty? Modesty? Another narcissistic abuser wanting me to debase myself so she could feel good about herself. Wanting me to play small in my already shattered life. I make myself small for no one. I have crawled in the gravel pit for decades. It took my own suicide attempt to finally realise how unique and beautiful and needed I was. In my own fugue state, I exhibited service to others and advocated for another patient when I myself was just coming back from the brink. That's the calibre of my spirit and my courage and my love for other human mortals who are in distress by the gods. This is not the merits of a small, weak or selfish person, although it is perfectly okay to be selfish at times. I didn't have time to be selfish. I was put in the coalface yet again, watching those nursing staff utterly systemically abuse a fellow patient. It was disgusting is what it was. Last night, one of my vile stalkers approached me. He who caused me 3 months of TMJ pain last year, as I refrained from hitting him when he refused to leave me alone. So I literally cracked my own jaw from holding back from hitting him. I should have just fucking hit the bastard. It would have been worth the jail time rather than injure my own self. I don't want to go to jail though. I'm a free bird and I must remain free no matter what. So I hold back on a lot of things, let people get away with things they should not be allowed to get away with, just for the sake of my own personal freedom. Last year he harassed me for 5 long hours. This was up at the Live Wire bar at the casino. But I was modest and contained my rage to my own pain and dereliction of duty to protecting my face and sacred space. So that man comes over to harass me again last night. Go away, I say. He prances like a show pony on acid. The way he used to posture around, I think he was on some substance. It wasn't fucking normal, people of Earth. The man was so not normal. Thinks he's funny. Thinks he can keep stalking and harassing me. A second time, I calmly say, go away. Firm, polite, not even swearing at him, as is my usual default state. So he moves in on me again. I tell you, if I was a real Viking berserker at that point, I would have simply just cut off his head. Seriously, he deserves that. He's an asshole. But one cannot do this in polite contemporary modern society in the year 20, what year was that? 2018. Fucking animal he was. And you know what was also animalistic? The security staff letting him stand back, letting him harass me like that for 5 hours, thinking it was funny and entertaining for them. This is why I don't want to ever go back to that space. You know, even the new casino. They can go fuck themselves. Really, right up their own assholes, what they put me through over the years. But they waited till I was vulnerable when my dog died to kick me when I was down. Don't ever do that. I am sitting down, dignified, perhaps even modest. But I have had enough of humility, of taking shit and bile and other people's vomitous, vile disrespect. My foot kicks up and makes contact with his genitals. Oh my God. He is fortunate I was wearing flat sandals last night, even though my flat soles and flattened sole, even through my flat soles and flattened sole, I could feel the tiny, flaccid penis and his doughboys. Finally, he leaves me and returns to the table where the other voyeurish men love to watch from. Disgusting creep. I waited for security to ask me to leave, but for once they demurred. After all, that particular man has been actively harassing me for several years now, almost every weekend. Ghastly. The former friend who wanted me to be modest, well, she copied everything I did and said, right down to my glitter eyeshadow and the way I wear my hair, my corsets, and my strength. She soaked up even my mode of speech. Even wrote a story for a course using names of people I worked with years ago that I had told her interesting stories about. She stuffed herself on my unfulfilled glory and story. Then, to up the ante, went after a man I had shown some interest in, disloyal and disrespectful to me and her own partner and her own self. It cost her a friendship. I shall not be humbled by people who are spiteful, envious, superficial, and false. I have taken 53 years to develop my life like a photograph from a black and blurry negative to publish myself in Kodachrome, fully fleshed, embodied, vitally alive and aware. Might as well say 59 and a half years now. I have suffered enough feelings of trauma, betrayals, cheap tricks, inability to succeed while being hammered by abusive friends and or family, lovers, to ever let anyone make me humble again. As a child of the universe, an astonishing creation of capricious and often vicious gods, I know, dear God and Goddess, I know I deserve better than that. There's a mushroom in a corner of sacred space that needs to feed on someone else's light and muck and rich compost, that needs to grow her own potential, needs to develop her own personality. But narcissism is a grandiose illness. Envy is so debilitating. Live your own truth and life and watch everything blossom and unfurl. I have no choice but to live modestly, but I will not allow abusers into my inner world. No, I won't. I've had a lovely afternoon chatting to old friends, Sherry, Lynn and Margaret. Just wonderful, smiley face. Charlie has taken to sitting on the chair beside me, while I soak up the morning sun and air. He helps me eat my muesli as well, raisins. He is a worthy companion, a bit Twitter-pated though. And here she is in the photograph, but we've got the real thing right beside me, have we not? Mama's little baby. Mama's little baby who in 2020 delivered herself of an egg, and how I found out she's actually a girl. Yes, Charlie. Mama's little baby girl. Beauregard prefers the shade under the table. Just see him sitting under the plastic outdoor table that Lynn gave me. I'd like to buy a nice big round timber one like I had from the side of the road in 2007, but they're expensive to buy new. But anyway, it is what it is. 23rd of September 2017. Home from an awesome night, utterly exhausted. My eyes are blurred, feet sore, but I had a wonderful time. Blessed to be alive, free, and surrounded by loving friends. Now unfurling my tired and sore muscles in a hot bath and drinking tea and contemplating my impending sleep. Yummy. Later I wrote, 5 hours sleep. It's a glorious day. I'm lying in my hammock thinking, oh, why is that repeating? By the gods. That's a repeat of what we just read. Right, we'll have to fix that later. My friend and her family are home safe from Bali. Phew, so happy they are home and safe. My thoughts go out to the local people and tourists being evacuated. Scary times. Awake after very weird dreams about a woman breaking down and disassociating, or perhaps in a psychotic state over her marriage breakdown. Very distressing, given that I have been there, done that, bit the bullet, owned the t-shirt, rebuilt my psyche, banged my drum, blown my own trumpet, and whirling dervished the dead, useless, defunct life into the dust. I am so tired, but I am so blessed to have survived my own demonic infestation of a life. Where to or what next? Only the gods know. I think I need some... Oh, dear goddess, we've scrolled too far. I think I need some more water and a cuddle with my dog, who woke me up as he wants to enjoy his day too. Fair enough, Beauregard. Up and at him. 23rd of September 2016. I had a long nap with my black and white muse at my side. Now we are going to the dogs, and later I'm going out with Annette to the West End markets. Another day in paradise, smiley face. It has come to my attention that I am not a very nice person. I love how my angels warp and weft my fragile little unravelled mind. I have painted the top coat while listening to Shirley Bassey belt out her borderline victim love songs. Pick me, or I shall die. Fuck you, universe. Diamonds are forever, and so am I. Now, if we could only clear up that little misunderstanding, Hashem, you know, the one where you send me angels and other assorted maniacs and you set them before me like an unanointed platter of a feast, demanding I turn shit to gold like Rumpelstiltskin. Give me a break. I wants my precious, but yeah, I know. Cheers, thanks a lot. Owned by supreme beings with natural, primordial senses of humour. Shekhinah gives me a cosmic hug as her drapery falls around my feet, like any ordinary stripper, and Adonai, lordly, waggles his phallus at me. That is how it starts. But I will finish it, my lord and lady. You made me this way. Been in training for this all my life. And then I put in brackets, S, life's, ? Ignoble humanoids with delusions of grandeur will be brought down to the lowest common denominator, e.g., Today Tonight, August 2008, laughing my ass off, which was when Gila Rosalie appeared on national TV, dragging her fanny up and down the street, literally crab walking and exposing herself up and down her street while screaming at her neighbours, calling them Arschloch, which is German for asshole, which is very strange coming from an Israeli Jewish woman. Don't you think? Karma's a bitch though, isn't it? For what you put me and my children through. Karma is a bitch. Actually, she got off light. That's very light compared to what I would have wreaked as vengeance on her. So the Holy One was rather kind to her in retrospect. Here I write, the piper must be paid. I will keep whistling up the winds of change, hope, hack, spew, hope's hairball, and love. My grandfather, Antoni Petula, knew what would become of me long before I was brought to this earth, or even the frenzied coupling of my mater and pater. Both my grandfathers have a lot to answer for. I am the repository of all their shitty, vile karma. Bear in mind, I have 3 grandfathers. So I'm here referring to my non-biological German grandfather and my Polish grandfather, who was a witch, and my father's father. Don't really have any gripes with him, except he was stupid and didn't put into writing that I was supposed to inherit that land in Waiheke Island. Let my mother steal that out from under me. Well, he didn't let her. He just trusted her too much, the fool. But anyway, it is what it is. It's their karma. It's not mine to carry anymore. I'm done. But I rise above it. Hang from the chandeliers, witches and Orthodox Jews and dreadlocked flower children, outlaw motorcycle governors, all have no power over me. Not even the Vikings. Okay, maybe a little bit. All hail Odin. Adonai.